Eric Gomez. We're all moving forward with the intentions of making that fight. The zone obviously putting pressure on us to make that fight. It's the fight to make. It's there to be made. Hopefully we can.
The boxing world has just ignited with the much anticipated news. What appeared unattainable just a few days ago has now become reality in the most unexpected way possible.
And it'll like be a long time coming just because of the history of everything that went on, but I'm not going to 47, so that's why I really asked him.
Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney is officially scheduled. The announcement of this mega fight stunned the entire sport, causing fans to lose their heads on social media. Multiple sources close to both camps say that after days of heated discussions behind closed doors, the two undefeated champions have reached an agreement that will make the bout the largest of 2026.
This fight now is even more juicy than it was the first time around when they were talking about it. When they were talking about it the first time around, Haney was red hot as an undisputed lightweight champion, and Shakur was the boogeyman who was very good, but was having trouble locking in those big insider. Right. I gotta be honest, man.
The statement occurred just hours after Shakur reacted to Haney's public plea on social media, with insiders confirming that serious talks had been taking place discreetly for weeks prior to going public. However, the specifics of how this battle came to be, as well as the stunning compromises both boxers were forced to accept, are utterly insane and demonstrate exactly how badly both sides wanted this fight. But before we get into all the explosive details of the agreement, let's go over how it all started and why everyone felt this conflict would never happen. Devin Haney made a big remark on social media just a few days ago, utterly taking the boxing community by surprise with its timing and confidence.
Grow into whatever weight you're in.
All of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, getting bigger. It's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which even though I know that they making new guys, there's guys like fucking Kermel.
Haney stated on X that I and Shakur are the next biggest fights in boxing. I want him and Keyshawn. Small bro, then big bro. The call-out was clear and public, putting enormous pressure on Shakur to answer and compelling him to either accept the offer or appear to be fleeing competition. Many boxing experts think Haney's staff strategically planned this call-out to occur immediately following Shakur's overwhelming victory against Teofimo Lopez, when momentum and media attention were at their pinnacle.
And brought in Debo, Devin the Dream Haney for the live fight broadcast. And both of you is on the list.
According to those acquainted with Haney's strategy, his group believed this was the ideal time to attack because Shakur would be overconfident and unable to back down publicly. One individual familiar with the discussion stated that Haney's promotional team had been organizing this social media all-out for over 2 weeks, waiting for the perfect opportunity to launch it. The timing was ideal from a promotional aspect because it focused all attention on Haney and Shakur. All other potential opponents, such as Conor Ben, were still negotiating deals.
First, Deb, is that back on the table as far as us as fans should be talking about this, or is that y'all niggas just doing some Twitter shit?
Nah, I mean, that's cool. Like, I told you I'll fight him. I'll move up to 40 and fight him. Like, there's no changing like what I think about that fight. I think that'll be a big fight too in the sport.
Shakur soon answered with a cryptic warning, leaving everyone on the platform attempting to figure out what was meant by his well-selected words. Shakur referenced Haney's tweet and simply stated, "Be careful what you ask for. Things may just happen." The response sparked a frenzy in the boxing world, with fans and pundits arguing whether Shakur was accepting the offer or simply talking tough with no real meaning. However, sources close to Shakur's camp purportedly told trusted media that the answer was not just trash talk, but rather an indication that negotiations were already starting behind the scenes. According to one boxing insider who claimed to have direct knowledge of the matter, Shakur and Haney's teams had been secretly communicating for at least 10 days before anything was made public.
What is going? Ben Haney said I never earned $1 million. You said that he would have earned $1 million or something along them lines. What do you make of his comment?
I never said that. No, I promoted him. I paid him over $1 million about 8 times. So I knew all about it. I'm just being honest. Like his performance against...
The social media discussion appeared to be part of a larger concerted attempt to generate widespread public attention and pressure. The networks and promoters provided the funds that both boxes demanded. Many believe this was a wise move since public sellouts generate fan demand, forcing promoters like Eddie Hernan networks like DAZN to take the bout seriously and open their wallets.
Guys like Shakur, still got, Ryan Garcia. It's a huge fight. It's a lot of guys coming up. They make a new guy every day. We got Abdullah Mason, we got Kermel. It's young guys coming up, and I see them in the rear view. So I'm hot.
What transpired next in the discussions is really intriguing and demonstrates how difficult it is to stage megafights in modern boxing for everyone concerned. According to those familiar with the discussions, the biggest sticking point initially was the weight class in which the fight would take place and the limits that would be imposed. Shakur now holds the WBO super lightweight title at 140 pounds, while Devin Haney is the WBO welterweight champion at 147 pounds, resulting in a natural 7-pound difference between them. According to sources acquainted with the early negotiations, Shakur's management first insisted on a stringent 10-pound rehydration provision, something he also sought from Conor Benn before the talks collapsed.
How did that fight get made then?
If he's not going to agree, then we probably don't fight. So he's just wasting time. We'll see, but I'm a businessman at the end of the day. And like I said, he did a rehydration clause with Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank was in the ring half dead. Why can't he do the same thing?
The rehydration provision would limit the amount of weight Haney might regain after the official weigh-in, preventing him from having a significant size advantage on fight night. However, insiders said that Haney's camp strongly opposed this demand, with his father, Bill Haney, reportedly insisting in private meetings that his son would not accept any artificial constraints. One person who claimed to have been there during virtual negotiations stated that tensions rose dramatically during one video chat in which both sides refused to move from their stances. The breakthrough moment, according to reports, occurred when promoters presented a compromise approach in order to make this fight happen for the big paycheck it symbolizes for everyone. According to insiders, the final deal is that Shakur will boost his catch weight to 144 pounds, dividing the weight difference between super lightweight and welterweight to provide justice to both competitors.
Happens right now. This is the right timing too, because both are at a good moment in their careers.
Very high.
It's actually
and there's a title on the
it's
line.
actually simmered better than it had back then. And back then it was really something that you wanted to see. But now, because of Shakur's reason.
Furthermore, there will allegedly be a reduced rehydration clause that limits Haney to regaining only 12 pounds rather than the limitless weight he desired, providing Shakur with some protection. This agreement appears to have satisfied both camps because Shakur receives size protection while Haney is not required to cut down to 140 music or accept the severe 10-pound limit that ended the Benn fight. According to sources acquainted with the financial conditions, both combatants will receive career-high payouts, and the bout is expected to generate at least $50 million in total revenue from pay-per-view and sponsorships. The exact purse split is being kept under wraps, but insiders believe it's close to a 60-40th split in Shakur's advantage because he's the defending champion and coming off a Lopez victory.
It was really difficult to watch. And although he beat Brian Norman, and it's a massive achievement, I just think that he's not fighting to his capabilities. I think he's gun shy. But I still, if you listen to my interviews, what I say is I give him respect. He deserves that respect and credit because he's a 3-division world champion.
However, many sources say that a significant Middle Eastern investor who sees enormous potential in this contest for the worldwide market played a critical role in securing the agreement. According to reports, Turki Al-Sheikh, who has revolutionized boxing with his large investments, personally became engaged in discussions and helped bridge the financial gap between what both parties sought. One boxing promoter, who requested anonymity, told colleagues that without Turkey's involvement and willingness to guarantee both boxes' asking rates, this bout would most likely never have taken place. According to those familiar with the plans, the tentative date for the battle is late May or early June 2026, providing both boxes plenty of time to prepare. Madison Square Garden is allegedly the frontrunner to host the event. However, venues like Las Vegas and possibly even Saudi Arabia have expressed genuine interest in hosting the event, should Turkey wish to do so.
As if, I'm scared of... I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
According to sources familiar with the venue negotiations, MSG is willing to guarantee a sold-out audience and has even began preliminary marketing discussions with both sides over the promotion. The announcement is likely to be made official within the next 7 to 10 days, provided all final paperwork is signed and both promotional teams have coordinated the press conference time. Let us now discuss what this battle means for both fighters and why the stakes could not be higher for their legacies and careers in the sport. For Shakur Stevenson, this fight is an opportunity to silence detractors who say he's boring and showed that he can defeat another excellent defensive fighter, a high-stakes showdown that casual fans will watch. Many boxing experts believe that a victory over Haney would quickly propel Shakur into the top 3 pound-for-pound rankings, perhaps setting up even bigger matches at welterweight.
T.O. know exactly who he's facing. And I just feel like Shakur is just so focused, so locked in. But not only that, I just feel like his IQ is just on a whole nother level. Shakur IQ is crazy, for real. And he's going to show that, January 31st.
According to sources close to Shakur's squad, his long-term goal is to someday compete for titles 147 and possibly 150 for pounds if his body continues to develop. According to a source acquainted with Shakur's thinking, the Haney fight is the ideal test to see if his defensive abilities can overcome a naturally larger opponent. Devin Haney sees this bout as an opportunity to demonstrate that he is more than simply a decision fighter who can only win tedious technical battles that bore casual fans. Haney has been chastised throughout his career for prioritizing safety and failing to take enough risks to create the thrilling moments that propel superfight status and high pay-per-view numbers. According to sources close to Haney's camp, he believes that a dominant win against Shakur will finally earn him the credit he deserves as one of boxing's absolute elite talents. Devin, according to one trainer who works with boxes at Haney's camp, has been obsessed with this clash for over a year and believes his size will be an issue. However, the stylistic battle has boxing purists salivating since both boxers are defensive masters who win fights at the highest level through knowledge rather than power. Many analysts believe the fight will be a chess match akin to Floyd Mayweather versus Arslan Lara, in which two defensive wizards make each other look ordinary by neutralizing everything the other attempts. Tim Bradley has stated that Shakur's footwork and IQ give him an advantage. Andre Ward, on the other hand, believes Haney's size and reach will be too much to handle.
Shakur is still getting better. He's still growing as a fighter. He's still growing as a man. He's not even at his peak yet. Let me say that again.
The fan reaction to this fight announcement has been overwhelmingly divided, with impassioned debates on both sides about who will win and if the battle will be thrilling or dull. One viral tweet with almost 50,000 likes said, "Shakur versus Haney is either going to be a masterclass or a snooze fest. No in between. And I genuinely can't predict which." Another popular post said, "This is the fight that separates the real boxing fans from the casuals appreciating." This clash indicates that you understand the sport. The gap in fan reactions nicely highlights the divide between hardcore boxing fans who value technical brilliance and casual viewers who prioritize knockouts and drama over all else. Promoters appear to be betting on the fact that both boxes have enormous social media followings, and that the rivalry narrative will generate enough attention to drive significant pay-per-view sales.
He is a good fighter, but I just don't think he's exciting to watch. I don't think he's going to be a draw outside of getting paid for those Saudi events. And I think if that stopped, you'd see that quite quickly. But he's a very good fighter. He's tough to beat. But if you think that was exciting to watch, you're telling...
According to sources acquainted with the promotional campaign, both camps intend to participate in orchestrated trash talk and face-offs to generate viral moments while avoiding true contempt. According to one marketing expert, the promotion would aggressively emphasize on the undefeated against undefeated element, as well as the reality that someone's zero must be removed. The training camps for both fighters will be critical because the current battle is the type in which minor technical adjustments might mean the difference between winning and losing every round. According to sources familiar with Shakur's training, he intends to bring in a number of southpaw sparring partners who can nearly mimic Haney's height, reach, and patient fighting style. Meanwhile, insiders close to Haney's camp said that his crew is already reviewing tape of Shakur's fights to search for patterns and trends that can be exploited during the actual encounter. One strength and conditioning coach, who works with elite boxers, anticipated that both camps will prioritize stamina because the fight will most likely last 12 rounds.
It's more of my natural self, more of who I really am. In past fights, you guys see me, as a more of a shell of myself, because I was.
The selection of judges and referees will also be essential, because in a close technical bout, having the correct officials can practically decide who wins. Boxing experts expect both sides to carefully discuss which athletic commission would oversee the fight and whose judges will score it in order to minimize potential prejudice. The potential significance of this battle on a welterweight and super lightweight divisions cannot be emphasized, as the winner will instantly become the #1 target for every other champion. If Shakur wins, insiders say he will likely fight full-time at 147 pounds, challenging champions like Mario Barrios or possibly pursuing a huge meeting with Terence Crawford, if available. Those familiar with Haney's thinking believe he would campaign for a rematch with Ryan Garcia to finally settle their heated first bout.
Ryan Garcia, you good for nothing in the sport of boxing. You come out with 4 or 5 days left to your 4th positive PED test, and you say now you want to start your own league, that you don't care if you're banned from the sport of boxing. Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, you and everybody with you need a foot in your ass.
The loser of Shakur versus Haney will not be eliminated, but they will undoubtedly lose negotiation leverage and the size of potential opportunities. One promoter, who asked to remain anonymous, told boxing journalists that in today's market, one loss to another elite fighter does not end careers, but it does make planning the next super fight more difficult. As the formal announcement date approaches, both fighters should increase their social media activity and public statements to generate as much buzz and anticipation as possible for this bout. The press conference announcing this bout is sure to be one of the most viewed boxing events of the year, with fans eager to hear both competitors describe their game plans. According to sources close to the planning, promoters are exploring a multi-city press tour that would include stops in New York, Los Angeles, and potentially London to increase global interest in the game.
And Haney still being undefeated and having righted the ship, winning as an underdog against Brian Norman. I rate that. I rate when you take on a fight as an underdog and you win it. I rate that. That's why Haney, for me, got into the circle of trust, because he wasn't trying to milk.
The boxing world hasn't been this hyped about a boxer versus boxer showdown since Floyd Mayweather's peak years, when technical prowess still drew large crowds. And that's all for now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the most up-to-date information about boxing news, moments, events, and actions. Remember to turn on notifications to receive updates when we publish high-quality articles like this. Until the next time, peace out.